Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square here with T-Square Talks. Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday. Hopefully silver, well, I shouldn't say that. Hopefully silver's still going down, but I'll be honest, I put an order in yesterday. I couldn't turn that down. I said I was going to slow down on buying, but I also said I wasn't going to buy over 30, and we got the pullback that I wanted. However, I know the community has mixed feelings on that. Some people were hoping for a pullback, and you may have picked up a little bit of an order yesterday, and some people are discouraged. They don't want to see the pullback. They want to see silver keep going up. It all depends if you're in a buying stage or if you are in a waiting to make it big time, to hit your grand slam, to have your ship come in. My opinion, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. If my ship comes in and we see it keep going up, that's a good thing. If I have an opportunity to get more, that's a good thing. So, we'll see what happens on that note. At the time of filming this video, in the middle of the night on Monday to Tuesday morning, we've got silver trading now at $26.97. So it continued to dip down a little bit. The big question is, will we see another big dip today? Why did we even see that dip yesterday? So we're going to talk a little bit about that in today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure you take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button, because it really does help me and it helps the channel. And if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe and leave me a comment, because I really do enjoy reading y'all's comments and hearing what you guys think. So the big reason why we ended up seeing silver, gold, everything come down really yesterday. Even oil came down, price per barrel of oil. But a lot of that had to do with the dollar strengthening. Now, I know some people will laugh at that whole concept because they'll say, oh, how did the dollar strengthen? And I'll be honest, it does sound comical. But like we've said before, the dollar strengthens when the other currencies that it's benchmarked against go down. Just like if I run a race, which is kind of comical because a friend of mine wanted to put me in for a 5K marathon. And I was like, I'm not ready to do a 5K. I just was thinking we'd do like a 1 mile marathon, like a 1 mile race or whatever. And she goes, well, they have a 1 mile one. I said, awesome, let's do it. She goes, but that's just for kids. And I was like, oh no. So some of you guys know that I am trying to get in shape. But the truth of the matter and where I'm going with this is if I run a race against kids, well, chances are I should be able to win. And I've used this analogy before, and it's kind of comical, the timing on this too. But it's also this weekend, and I'm like, there's no way I can run a 5 mile this weekend, just because I'm nowhere near that yet. But it's comical because, a lot of these countries now are looking to the U.S. for help. And here's the thing. We can't afford it. We can't afford it. But look at the big bill that they just signed off on. We're now going to give aid to Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. All three got their aid package, or are getting their aid packages. We're already broke as a country. And just because the dollar looks stronger against these other currencies, it doesn't mean that inflation won't continue to ramp up. You can have, theoretically, because we've never been down this road before. We personally have not seen this in our country. But we could end up having a strong dollar and have it getting inflated away. Why? Because everybody else is getting inflated away even faster. I've used the analogy too before. A bunch of us jump out of a plane. Does it really matter who hits the ground first? Woohoo! I'm falling down at less speed. You guys are all going to hit the ground before me. Does it matter? It doesn't, because at the end result is still the same. Splat. And I think, unfortunately for the dollar, I think the end result is still going to be the same. A collapse of the dollar. Now, that's really scary to think of for some people, especially for people that are new to this concept. I mean, a lot of the people that follow the channel and have been following the channel for a while, you guys, you're not new to it. You know that it's coming. That's probably why you stack gold and silver or other commodities. And I say other commodities because I've said time and time again that, before someone stacks gold and silver, they should have a certain amount of food and water prepped up. To some people, they might look at it like, that's a waste of money. Having a certain amount, if you lose your job, means you're going to be okay. Having a certain amount in case some major thing happens and you can't get food, it guarantees you and your family are going to be okay too. And even if, once you've got that, I say, focus on a little bit of security. Have some means to protect it. Because if you ain't got nothing, if all of a sudden everything collapses and you're having to go and look for food or whatever, no one is probably going to break in and steal anything because you'll have nothing that they want at that point. It's the people that won't have to go anywhere that will have something, This idea, you don't see security on a homeless tent, So the first thing I would focus on is food and water. After that, a certain amount of security. And then remember, gold and silver does play an important role. A lot of people want to take this concept. I wouldn't trade my silver or gold for food if food was a priority. Well, you're right. You wouldn't. But there are going to be things that may not be a priority that you may want. Some good seasoning, some spices. Who knows? Maybe you smoke or you drink or you just want a bottle of wine. These are things that, someone will have this stuff. And the idea that essentially silver and gold won't get you the items you need is ridiculous because it always has. And here's the thing. If the dollar collapses, it doesn't necessarily mean that all the other countries' currencies are collapsing. It just means that the currencies that we benchmark the dollar against are probably collapsing because we essentially help out these other countries. They buy our currencies, we buy theirs, and essentially it just kind of leaves a certain amount of stability. But here's the thing. The more they print, the less it's worth. The less it's worth, the more it's going to take for you to get the items you need. And the idea that, silver went down $1.50 in one day, obviously it's not a good investment. That's ridiculous to me. It's a great buying opportunity, a lot of stuff. People that promote Bitcoin, Bitcoin went down, $60,000? It went from, I think, 65,000 all the way down to 18, and yet they'll say that Bitcoin's a good investment. Any investment can go up or down over a short term. It's more about the long-term horizon. And, with more and more people buying gold and silver, and a lot of people are looking at this as an opportunity. They're putting in orders. I don't know about you guys. Leave a comment if you put in an order recently, but I put a good order in yesterday. And I'm on the fence of wanting to put another one in today, but too many times I have put an order in and the next day it goes even lower. And so part of me is like, man, wait one more day and just see what happens. And if I'm wrong, that's okay because I got one good order in, but I wouldn't mind getting another one. But I'd also like to see it drop maybe another $1 if it can. But here's the thing. These drops, in my opinion, are not sustainable. Why? Because the damage is already done and it's continuing to be done. So the fact that the dollar looks a little bit stronger today does not change anything, in my opinion. Yes, they probably were betting a little extra on gold and silver that maybe the stuff that happened in Israel and Iran over the weekend was going to escalate. And it kind of came to a halt really quick. But it doesn't change the facts. It doesn't change the facts. And the idea is now that they're starting to price in, we may not see rate cuts. How is that going to affect gold and silver? The truth of the matter is, even if we don't see the rate cuts, the damage is done. They're still going to keep printing money. And here's the thing. If they don't cut rates, how difficult is it going to be for them to keep these aid packages going? The interest that we're paying on our debt going. Them cutting rates is going to actually lower the interest for the United States. Now, granted, they're still going to have to print more money because they don't have the money to pay their bills anymore. It's like a person. We've talked about this time and time again. It's like a person. When they overspend, eventually it catches up to them. And yes, there might be people out there that will want to buy their debt off them. I've seen that with some friends where they're in debt heavily and other companies are jockeying for their debt. Why? Because they see someone with decent income that just don't know how to manage their money. And essentially, they want to hold that debt. And if they have to cut 0.5% interest, maybe even 1% interest, that's okay to them. They're not going to cut interest lower than what they can go buy a CD or a bond for. I mean, I think banks now are paying 5.5% on CDs, so they're not going to go lower than that. But when you really think about credit cards, some credit cards are charging 29% now. And let me know if you've seen a higher one, or let me know your thoughts on credit card percentages. The highest I've ever heard of was 29%. But that ain't to say there ain't something higher out there. So with that being said, this idea that silver going down is the end of the world, maybe it stings a little bit if you've got a bunch of silver. I've got a bunch of silver. I've got a little bit of gold. And the truth of the matter is, it doesn't faze me in the least that we lost. We had a big run up in, 2 months? It's natural that we would see some sort of a pullback. But is it the end? No, it could just be another quick pullback. It was definitely a healthy correction. It wasn't like that devastating. And is it over? We won't know until later today. If all of a sudden it starts pulling back up again, that could be a sign that this is it. And until it breaks through 30, but once it breaks through 30, that's going to really change people's outlooks. But we've already just recently hit, an 11-year high? That's something. And, gold at an all-time high, that's something too. That's showing momentum. And the idea that, and now they've both hit all-time, or now that gold hit an all-time high, it has to come down. And now that we're at an 11-year high, it's more likely it will come down. I don't believe that. Not for a minute. But I do pace myself on buying. I've overbought previous times. And, we'll see what happens. So, with that being said, I wanted to do that video because some people were stressed out about the recent drop. Some people utilized it for exactly what it was, a good buying opportunity. And we'll see how things play out today. And I hope everybody has a great day. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. We'll talk and see what happens tomorrow. And then I'll talk to you the next day on Wednesday. So, with that being said, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, please leave me a comment. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. And make sure that bell is on for notifications. And as always, leave me a comment. Hit that thumbs up. I love to hear y'all's comments. So thank you all for watching. And I will see you guys again next time on T-Square Talk. Take care, everybody. Have a great one. Bye-bye.